Hi, here is a writing task and chart that needs to be written about. Firstly, we'll look at the task. And then the chart. Later we'll look at a model response to the task. The task begins with a brief description of the information below. In this writing task, it is a bar chart. The paragraph tells us that the chart below gives information about the average distance per day that people travel to work in an Australian city using 5 modes of transport in the years 1990, 2000 and 2010. The paragraph below tells the candidate what they need to do with the information. This is to summarise the information, select and report the main features of the chart, and compare the data where relevant. Remember that you must write at least 150 words for Task 1, in not more than 20 minutes. The box above gives us information about the chart. It tells us that the chart describes the distance travelled to work using different transportation in an Australian city, and that the average distance is in kilometres per person daily from home to work. The first thing to note is that private cars travelled the greatest distance to work in the first 2 survey years, 1990 and 2000, but fell significantly in 2010 by 5 kilometres per day. Only 2 types of transport increased over the 20-year period, train and taxi. There was no change in the 1990 and the 2010 figures for bus and tram, although bus did drop slightly in 2000. The most important feature here is that after 2000, train trips averaged the most kilometres to work, and private car dropped to have the second longest travelling distance. In the second part of this tutorial, we will look at one model for writing this task. The level of the written response you will see is suitable for most IELTS requirements. Here's paragraph 1 of the writing task. Read it through yourself. Press the pause button on your player to allow more time for reading, and then play when you are ready to continue. Note that the introductory paragraph says similar things to the task statement, but uses different words and structure. You could lose marks if you copy the statement into your writing without changes. Here's a second paragraph for you to read through yourself. This paragraph focuses on the main features of the chart: travel by private car and train. Note that the paragraph also compares data in the chart. It also points out that this is important or relevant information. And now for the third paragraph, covering the other forms of transport. Firstly, take time to read through it yourself. The paragraph rounds off the other information in the graph, the remaining modes of transport: taxi, tram and bus. The beginning of the paragraph links to the previous one in two ways: by comparing the next three methods of transport with the previous two, and by noting train and taxi are the only ones with the same trend. This sentence also provides an overview of the data in the chart. Some sort of overview is important if you want a high score. The writer has grouped journey by tram and bus because of similarities. That is, both had no change over the period. Try to use complex sentences and a variety of vocabulary. This will improve your score. Here are some important points to remember for a higher IELTS Academic Task 1 score. Use a variety of vocabulary. Use some complex sentences. Where possible, link your information. Point out important features of the graph, table or diagram, and try to present an overview of the data or information. That concludes the tutorial. If you want more help with your IELTS writing, please go to our site at www.eslforfree.com.